Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. This is episode 541 of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Quite a bit of news this past 2 days in terms of the DCEU, and I gotta say, I'm actually pretty excited. There's this much rumors and speculation, lots of things to talk about. It just generally seems like everyone, including the bloggers, the trades, are hearing more things, are discussing more things, and everybody in general is relatively much more excited for the DCU after the Snyder Cut was announced. I mean, I cannot say the Snyder Cut kind of saved the DCU, the brand in general. But in any case, there are more talks about it. Beginning with DCU Mythic. Now, I gotta warn you though, the person running DCU Mythic is Jeremy Conrad. Yeah, Monobytes. He's the one. He mostly a Marvel guy, cosmic, Marvel, whatever. But he does have a DCEU site that he runs some things as well. Possibly have less connections in terms of that. But I thought that I should give you what those discussions or rumors may be. In this case, he's saying Warner has begun early discussions about a new project featuring Harley Quinn. Now, Harley Quinn, it's is a popular character. Did very well in Suicide Squad. She is in James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, and also was in Birds of Prey. Birds of Prey didn't do so well in the box office, but she's still going to be in the Suicide Squad. So it may be that the studio still has faith in Margot Robbie and Harley Quinn. She's a fantastic Harley Quinn. So they're still hopefully crossing our fingers they'll still be able to do that Gotham City Sirens movie, maybe with David Ayer. That would be fantastic. But this is also a rumor. Grace Randolph, however, disputed that rumor, saying this: plenty of people in Hollywood and at Warner Brothers, but my sources say there are no Harley Quinn discussions for her next movie in the DCU because Birds of Prey was a box office bomb. As we expected, Warner Brothers is still waiting to see how The Suicide Squad does before making any more plans, which is a typical Warner Brothers style. They usually wait for a movie to see how it does before moving on to the next thing. That's kind of like their model, their MO since the beginning of time. I don't know, but since the beginning, and that's usually how they play that. But even more discussions about that subject matter in terms of Suicide Squad is, of course, the David Ayer cut of Suicide Squad. Jeremy Conrad, again, another article, or just a day after, says this: Warner Brothers is rumored to be talking about releasing the Ayer cut of Suicide Squad, and he even does the hashtag release the Ayer cut. In this article, he talks about how it's more complete. Things that we already know, there's probably little much. It could end up on HBO Max, things like that. And he's hearing they're talking about putting it on there, which, other people have kind of talked about it as well, but it's still up in the air. We're not exactly sure. There's no confirmation. David Ayer himself has been really, really promoting his Suicide Squad, his Ayer cut. He's been putting on Instagram stories in terms of the Ayer cut and everything. A lot of this stuff I will discuss this Sunday. This Sunday, I'm going to be discussing with a live chat with Gavin Downs, Steve Cascan, and Chris Valentino. Gavin and Steve were on the Suicide Squad set. Chris is made that incredible Argus-inspired logo for the charity shirt, and he's also part of the RT Aircut SS at RT Aircut SS account, and they're really promoting next week's trending event, Twitter trending event that will happen beginning June. So we're going to talk about this and much more about the Aircut, discussion about that this Sunday, the 31st at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Of course, welcome to join, hop in. Any super chat you do in that, I will give that all to the America's Vet Dogs, just like the charity shirt. So We thought that would be David Ayer would appreciate that because he's very much in support of military and veterans. So that will be more about David Ayer's cut later, and we'll discuss Jeremy Conrad's article as well. But there's also a lot of things going on with Henry Cavill's Man of Steel, right? Henry Cavill, Man of Steel 2 or Man of Steel sequel or solo Superman film, however you want to say it, basically a Superman-centric major main character role for Henry Cavill is what people want to see. Now, I talked about what Deadline had reported and everybody reported on, that they say we haven't seen the last of Henry Cavill's Man of Steel. He could, instead of ending up in his own solo film, he is actually going to have cameo roles within other films, right? Meaning he could show up in Shazam 2, he can show up in Black Adam, he can show up possibly in Aquaman 2. He's probably not going to show up in the Suicide Squad. He's probably not going to show up in Wonder Woman 1984, and he's definitely not going to show up in the Batman because that's a different universe altogether. But he essentially could have some small pivotal roles in this, and that is, pretty exciting to actually see that happen, regardless, because it's just more Superman. Not only will he get a major role in Justice League, he'll get some of these smaller roles in these other films as well. But, at that same day, Justin Crowe from Variety, another big trade, said this: Cavill's return is only a cameo and would likely have him appearing in a film where he has previous ties with the title character. Aquaman, Shazam. Sources say not for Black Adam or Wonder Woman. The new Man of Steel film was still way off, with no certainty Henry would return to star. So that is Variety's take on this whole situation. Forbes. Mark Hughes from Forbes came out with a giant article that, of course, I'll link all this in the description below. But basically this. Some reports claim Cavill's talks do not include an appearance in Black Adam, but that conflicts with some of what I'm hearing. And even if the initial discussions are focused on Shazam 2 and Zack Snyder's Justice League, I'd be surprised if Black Adam isn't still an understood on the table option depending on how the other situations go. So there you go. Something different from the initial report. Well, it's almost in line with the initial report from Deadline, but different from Variety's report. And this, you're going to start to see a little bit more of this conflicting reports. The Hollywood Reporter also talks about it as well. They said this: the situation with Henry Cavill and Superman is complicated. Sources tell Heat Vision that Cavill is not in any negotiations for any cameo, and that the character is currently not in any written script, not in Black Adam, not the Batman, of course, not the Batman, and not even in the Flash, which would be the most obvious project to insert the Kryptonian, seeing as the film deals with both time travel and an alternate Earth, and could serve as an easy entry point. The key word in all of this is currently. There is, however, interest in and ideas about and exploratory talks regarding what a Cavill appearance might look like. But remember, in Hollywood, anything goes. Cavill as Superman was to have made a cameo appearance in 2019 Shazam, but when talks got too complicated, the scene was shot with just the Man of Steel's torso. So again, here's another take on that situation, another take on what's possibly happening with Henry Cavill as Superman. They're saying it's not in Black Adam. Now that kind of makes sense because it's not in any written script. As a cameo, maybe it doesn't need to appear in a script, but I also like the little bit of the Flash in there talking about how it is indeed going to have some time travel and alternate Earth stuff in there, multiverse stuff. So that's even more, just cementing and concreting that idea that is definitely some type of multiverse story, which I'm really excited about. To be quite honest, I'm really excited about the Flash. But more on Grace Randolph even has her own take. She's saying that Henry Cavill is back as Superman, kind of. The DC movies that he'll be doing. She talks about how she definitely thinks it's going to be Black Adam. She definitely thinks it's going to be possibly Shazam 2. Most out of everything else because of the relationship that Henry Cavill has with The Rock's ex-wife and the representative, which is Danny Garcia. The Garcias on there, and how much, The Rock involved Boss Logic to create that awesome art of Superman beating Black Adam. Like, they would need a tentpole, right? Black Adam is great. Black Adam is fantastic. Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam is fantastic. Black Adam versus the JSA, Justice Society of America, but it's not a heavy hitter. What will draw people to the seats more than Black Adam versus the Man of Steel himself, Henry Cavill as Superman? I kind of agree with that. That's kind of interesting details that she pulls up there that I really wanted to consider regarding that. But that's the thing, everybody has a different take about Man of Steel, about Man of Steel the sequel, about Henry Cavill as Superman. Like cast down there, the culture nerd, even down to Louis and Tenno, Dave the film junkie. Dave believes it's already a done deal because Danny Garcia tweeted out that Henry Cavill showed up to the Man of Steel watch party. Henry Cavill showed up to the Man of Steel watch party, and there's two things I can actually agree with this. One, she's letting him go on this and announcing that he's going to be in Zack Snyder's Justice League and helping announce Zack Snyder's Justice League because they're happy with the contract they were given, that it's a done deal. They're happy with it, and they can finally make peace and actually be part of the Snyder Cut and promote the Snyder Cut as well, because that's more publicity for Henry Cavill. The other reason would be that there is nothing on the table, and so what better way to get back on the table is to be in a movie that he was already in, and it's coming out. A different version of the movie that you're already in, a movie that was embarrassing because he had the mustache and everything, and to release that would be Zack Snyder's Justice League, to get the talk going, to get it back on the table, and maybe all this early talk of being Superman, of donning the cape once again in a new project is derived from he finally showing up and saying, I'm going to be on Zack Snyder's Justice League. I want to be Superman. Well, I am going to be Superman on HBO Max. You might as well sign me up as Superman for other projects as well. So there is still a lot of different conversations to be had about this. As you notice, not everybody's clear as what's going on. There's so many different takes about this certain situation. There is, and I like, Sam Parker actually replied to when I asked, why is there so many different takes, including John Campea, who's saying he's hearing the person that told him that Ben Affleck is done as Batman is telling him that J.J. Abrams is going to be involved in that Superman-centric movie with Henry Cavill, either as a director or producer. Lindelof was actually talking about he may be interested in as well, or someone asked him if he was interested. And there's so much going on, and that's the exciting part, because it's like we're back in 2016. We're actually talking about other future projects, speculating. Everybody's talking about it. It's really, 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 really exciting. So I don't know what's happening, but like Sam Parker said, whatever's happening, something is happening. That famous Bob Diggy Carlos quote, something is happening, and I have to agree there. Something is definitely happening for Henry Cavill as Superman, possibly even Harley Quinn, possibly an Aircut. All this is all exciting, great stuff, great time to be a DC fan once again. If you were gone, if you were done by Justice League, I think you've all come back and you're slowly getting excited for the future of the DCEU once again. But we have to commemorate the beginning of essentially the DCEU, right? And that's the Man of Steel. 7 years is coming up. You can continue to support AFSP National, celebrate the 7-year anniversary of the film and the return of Henry Cavill Superman. There is a live stream charity watch party. Man of Steel live stream charity watch party. Man of Steel, let's celebrate the 7-year anniversary. Join us on June 14th, 2020. Probably more details on where to link up with that later on. 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 p.m. London, 11 p.m. Europe. So exciting things are coming. Continuous exciting things are coming. This is a badass poster, by the way, including this weekend. So tomorrow we're gonna be having a kind of like a trip down memory lane. I guess I'm gonna have Dave the Film Junkie and Matt and Shane from the Comic Movie Marks this Saturday, tomorrow, and on the 5/30th. At 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please join in. We're just going to talk about the time we were all together at the Snyder Con and everything that has transpired since then. I feel bad because I'm finally having them on. I feel bad. I feel terrible that I haven't invited them on, and I've been on their shows, so I'm finally gonna have it on. I was looking through my pictures, and I'm like, you know what? I've never had them on. I feel so insignificant compared to those guys, but I think it's time that I had them on, and I'm glad they've agreed to join up and celebrate Zack Snyder's Justice League with me, talking about good old times and maybe what could be the future of the DCU, the exciting things for the DCU coming right up, either on HBO Max or DC or in the theaters. Both. I mean, it's just amazing how much I feel like the excitement, the the flames of interest, the heart, the emotions that's compelling me to want to talk more and more and speculate about DCEU. It's back. It's back. And I feel that you guys are just as excited as I am. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.